Hello, you're listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with Microsoft, the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Takeoff, Sezzle, and Silk.
But first, we take off with even more robotics news out of Walmart this week. Anne.
Oh yes, Chris. Headline number 1, Walmart made a slew of announcements related to robotics within the past week. Some good and some not so good. So first, according to Grocery Dive, Walmart has entered a definitive agreement to purchase micro-fulfillment center developer Alert Innovation. The company Walmart began working with in 2016 and later launched a test of its autonomous cart-based system in a 20,000 square foot warehouse connected to a supercenter in Salem, New Hampshire back in 2019. Second, and not to be outdone, Walmart also announced the conversion of one of its Atlanta warehouses into one of its new next-gen robotic fulfillment centers. The very same warehouse where late last week Walmart said it would also lay off nearly 1,500 workers, according to Chain Store Age. Chris, lots of innovation, lots of robotics happening over at our friends at Walmart.
Oh my God, yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
Well, first off, the news on Alert Innovation the acquisition is really interesting to me because I don't really know much about where Alert Innovation has stood since they announced that test back in 2019. I think I was one of the first people to write about it in Forbes. So I guess now we know. Walmart thinks it's valuable. They've been quiet. It's interesting that they've been quiet about what they think is valuable.
Right.
Everyone listening, keep that in mind. When you hear Walmart talking about something before it's like a thing, it's probably not that good. But this is the proof point of that because it's now found its micro-fulfillment partner, or at least someone that they think can help them do what they need to do in this space. And to the point that you raised last week, could also fit into their technology services platform as well. They can easily do warehouse as a service now just about as well as anybody.
Yeah.
Because Alert Innovation is one of those companies, along with AutoStore and Takeoff, our sponsors as well, that are in this game. Dematic's another one. So lots of players in this space that know how to do this, and Walmart's coming to the fore. So net, I like the move.
Yes.
Again, for the second week in a row, which check my temperature, Ann, because I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm all in on Walmart.
I bet you've checked your temperature. I don't think I need to. I have a feeling you've checked your tempet today already, so I'm going to trust you on this one.
Knowing the hypochondriac I am, and I probably have. I did check my kid's temperature, actually. I did not check my own. But second, Ann, this is important, the next-gen warehouse thing.
Yeah.
This just stinks. That's the only way I can put it. It just smells so bad. Okay, here's why. You have the biggest retailer in the country saying publicly that it's going after robotics.
Yes.
Okay, they're saying that basically. We are laying off people in this warehouse to put robots in.
Yes.
It's as clear as day.
Yes.
Which means absolutely it's going to mean less warehouse workers in the long run because they employ, I should say, a large majority of the U.S. workforce.
Yes.
More so than anyone else. And if self-checkout systems continue to get off the ground, it's also going to mean we're going to have less cashiers in store.
Yes.
Which ultimately means a hell of a lot of displaced workers in the long run. And so my point is we just need to start thinking about what that means as a society because it's going to come and it's going to be incredibly disruptive. But what do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
you need to talk me off the ledge?
I think a little bit, Chris.
Okay.
First of all, I agree with you. The Alert Innovation move from Walmart, this completely makes sense. We talked about it last week, but to your latter point, I think these are not the kind of headlines that you want to hear one right after another. Walmart PR team that is usually
that?
Bang, bang, bang. Let's see how we more subtly approach this next time. So
great point.
I think that it makes sense if Walmart is using their claim in the reports that they put out, they're using this to bolster their Walmart fulfillment services business, which again makes sense from an economic standpoint from the retailer. I guess part of my concern here is that we do have a lot of displaced workers that robotics are going to replace the manual labor of these workers. But where does that labor go? I don't think it completely disappears. I think that it goes into other types of jobs. And I think, do you remember when we had Tim Rowland from Badger on the show? And he was talking about, the place where robotics make sense are the dirty, dangerous, duplicative tasks that people are doing that they don't need to do necessarily.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I wonder if Walmart Fulfillment Services is really the push here, could those jobs be replaced on the other side of things? They're going to, part of the focus is on contact and call center. Part of the focus is on gig labor, Walmart Go Local. There could be other opportunities. Now, whether or not the staff that's working in a warehouse is ready to go work in a contact center or they're interested in that kind of job is obviously questionable.
Yep.
But I guess I just, to lighten the load a little bit, like there still will be jobs in store. There still will be jobs, in the warehouses. But hopefully, and this is why we're seeing all the pressure from the unions. Like people are getting hurt in warehouses. Warehouse conditions are not safe. Like if you're replacing those jobs with robotics, are there better, safer jobs for people to be doing in those situations? I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm trying to find the angle.
I just think when you start talking cashier jobs and you talk warehouse jobs, those are the some of the most blue collar jobs. And if those go away, there's not necessarily that many more places you can put them.
But
Final word.
What about, I guess, so like one of the things that you said robots can't do in past shows is like shelf stocking and restocking. Like there are other jobs, I think, in the store.
Yeah, but you don't need more of that than you have now. That workforce is already.
I might argue that point. Like how many, look at out of stocks right now. What the average store?
But you don't need more people to do that job in the store. You have out of stocks because of the inventory, not necessarily because
in some
of the
cases,
people
but,
not being able to work it.
Well, I don't know. I think you could have more stuff on your shelves potentially if you have more people focused on that. I mean, that's the point that all of these retailers are saying they want self-checkout for. They want people to be in the stores, making sure shelves are stocked, stores looking good. It's easier to shop, helping people within the store. Like that to me seems like you could see what happens when you deploy more resources towards that.
I think that's a stretch, but hey, you're playing devil's advocate. I think that's a stretch argument, but hey, you, the listener, can decide which side of the equation you want to come down on. But it's something people have got to keep an eye on for sure. I think regardless, I think we both agree on that.